Two unemployed actors, two unemployed actors. They're just between projects.
Hello, everyone. It's Max.
And Sam.
And it's Two Unemployed Actors, another week of excitement, some news, some goss, some reviews, some stuff. Don't forget to like and subscribe, whether you're watching us on YouTube or listening on your favourite podcast platform.
Yes.
Or you've been told by a good friend or someone you don't like, you must listen, whatever, just like and subscribe. I'll do a shout out today. This is the first, because I actually went through the data today and I could see which town everyone's tuning in and where they live. No, I'm joking, not where they live. It just comes up like a suburb or a city, really. So shout out to those in LA, Austin, Texas, even good old Parramatta here in Sydney. Thanks for tuning in. Don't forget to like and subscribe. I may have mentioned it. Had some good news last week too, Sammy. Had some positive feedback from a production company and someone else saying how good it sounds and the voices sound good and I was almost, didn't I? They loved the Ozark bit, which was great. So
very
that's
nice.
Good. It's always good to get feedback, especially when it's positive. Something exciting happened on Sunday, and it wasn't just me sitting in a pile of chocolate eating my way out. It was...
Even though that was one of the things.
It was one of the things. I actually bought a whole lot of chocolate. I'm going, oh, this is so cool. I deserve... Because I can justify buying chocolate like any time, really. Oh, well, it's pandemic and it's a special pandemic Easter. I'll just buy early. I'll buy chocolate early. And, of course, none of it lasted till Easter, did it? I ate it all, like, within hours of buying the stuff. Anyway.
God.
Tasted nice. Can't complain. But anyway, I do have to exercise. That reminds me. Sunday, Redline Productions, the Australian Sydney Independent Theatre, put on a show. They put on a show.
With Alec Baldwin, right?
That's it. Pandemic. I was all over my social. I'm like, this is going to be amazing. The play Orphans, and it was really cool. Like, they're all dialed in, so the camera's on each of the players, including Alec Baldwin, and it was great. It was a great reading. And
very cool.
I actually said to them, pardon?
Is he here in Sydney then?
No. He was from his place in New York. He was was streaming in. So it's like if you look at us on YouTube at the moment, it's got my camera and your camera. It's kind of like that for each of them. And then the production company who was organising the stream for Redline Productions, all the tech stuff, another one based here in Sydney, basically just enlarged to whoever camera was talking. I actually found it was rather intuitive and it helped. It wasn't sort of distracting and helped you really identify with the character who's reading at the time, who's speaking. And I actually said to the guys, I said, look, that was great. I mean, this could be another option to bring theatre to the masses, even when the world gets back to, whatever sort of normal it's going to get back to. And you're able to put on plays. Yeah, because they basically said, here's a great play, first done in 2013. Alec Baldwin was on stage in New York. Why don't we reach out, ask Alec? And so they did. And he said, well, let's not just make it across Australia, let's stream it worldwide. And away they went.
Very cool.
So really happy that it went really well for them because, I mean,
Was it live?
It was, absolutely live.
So how many viewers did they have?
I don't know, thousands. I think it was like 4,000 or something on one stage. Imagine a theatre with 4,000 people. I stopped counting after that because I was actually into the play, which is kind of good. But you can imagine a theatre with 4,000 people. And it was absolutely live. It was fantastic. What a great way to keep the arts alive during pandemic style. Mm-hmm. So that happened. That was cool. I put some on social of my pandemic project number 1, the Millennium Falcon, Lego's biggest kit. 7,500 pieces. If you watch on YouTube, you can see it behind me now. I've moved my big fat head out of the way. It's
almost
massive.
as many pieces as a real car.
Oh, I reckon. I think it looks better than the real
thing.
The Millennium Falcon that Han Solo flew. That had a few pieces missing.
Probably.
The old rust bucket of bolts, whatever he calls it.
So yours is better. Yours is newer.
Although one eagle-eyed viewer of my social vid spotted the fact that there were some leftover pieces of Lego. So,
oh no, what happened?
Well,
aren't those just the spare ones?
I got to the end of the build and there was a little bag full of little bits and pieces that I hadn't used. So yeah, I'm just saying to myself, Lego, put some spares in.
How do you not use them? What did you misread the instructions?
The instructions are 600 pages. Come on.
Oh, you skipped one.
It's massive. I must have missed a piece here or there. But anyway, it looks amazing. That's not the point. Let's not get bogged down on the detail. I'm up to Project 2, which is a lovely puzzle. I only caught Fred once with a piece in his mouth, so
no.
I won't know until I've actually finished the puzzle if he's eaten a piece or two. I caught him in his eyes. He thinks it's another conspiracy to get attention away from him, like Project Number One. So he's a bit.
Oh yeah.
I caught him pulling the felt off the table with the whole puzzle on top of it. I came in just as he started to pull that off, and I got him just in time because there was a moment. We both froze, and there was a moment where he could have gone either way, and I'm like, mate, don't even think about it. Full angry dad voice. So
very funny.
Pandemic projects are moving along. It's 1,500 pieces. Yeah.
Oh, nice.
1,500 pieces, and it's basically a painting of New York, half the Central Park and half the city, and everything's similar colours as you'd expect.
Well, this weekend, my family and I did. We played a lot of trivia games.
Oh, that's cool.
So trying to get build our education in this time of struggle.
Indeed. And I love how now we're into, like, everyone's going through their Netflix and everything's, they're watching as much as they can, but there's only so much time you can sit on the couch, really. And everyone's going back to the old school Monopoly and trivia and all that sort of stuff, bringing the fam together.
Oh my God.
It's a miracle. It's a pandemic miracle. I'm trying my hardest to be positive, mate. I really am. I went for a walk around the corner with Fred to get a coffee to support the local takeaway. Mm-hmm. And I said, I'll have a large cappuccino takeaway, please. He's like, well, I can't exactly dine in, can I? I'm like, oh, sorry. It was pretty good about it. I'm like, I didn't mean to rub it in. Sorry, mate. Anyway, I'm trying to do the right thing. I still muck it up.
Funny.
And then I'm walking back, and there was a huge queue outside Centrelink still, which is our Australian, government office to get financial support. I'm like, oh God! So I thought to myself, I'm going to try my best to be positive today. I really am, even though if I'm lying to myself, I'm going to be.
No, look, that's all you can do is stay positive in this time, and that's we just stay healthy, exercise if you can, cook some good food at home, figure out some new things, find a new hobby.
Yeah. I bought a new fire blanket to replace the old one, so I can get back into cooking now.
Oh no! What happened to the first one?
Oh, the first one. Well, I did think it would be for cooking, but actually, I bought this iron and I plugged it in, and I went to pick it up, and I heard crackling, and I looked at it, and the plastic was bubbling. I'm like, well, that's not good. Oh, no. And I'm lucky I didn't grab it because the plastic was melting, and then there was smoke, and then there was flames, and I just stood there for a moment and went, well, that's not good, and grabbed the fire blanket that for some reason it was on special when I bought something else, so I bought it thinking, safety first, because I'm such a nerdy kind of guy like that, and thought for sure it'd be for use on my cooking, but there I was unplugging the iron as it's in flames, wrapping it in the fire blanket and racing it outside to hose it down. I got a new iron, by the way. Well, actually, they said we can replace it with another iron. I said, you know what? What else do you have? don't really feel comfortable about the iron. So they paid for the shirt that I burnt. They paid for a new fire blanket, and they sent me a vacuum cleaner.
Oh God. Back on a quick thing about Centrelink, it's bad though that the people within the industry, actors and production crew alike, can't really apply for the job seeker one because it's not a 12-month contract. Most of them aren't on 12-month contracts. It's like 3 months here, then move on to another project, 3 months there.
I know, and each project you're paid separately working for that production company, so you're not working. Yeah,
you don't it's just I saw a post someone shared, written by Eddie Perfect, who's an Aussie actor.
Yep.
It's a long one, but it's really. I'll try. I'll send it to you, and you can put
send
it up
me the
on
link, and I'll include it in our socials.
Yeah, I'll send you the text of it or whatever. It's sad how the government's kind of almost forgotten about.
Well, I think it's really difficult because there's so many people that are affected, and they've just had to rush through this $130 billion JobKeeper program. I think what the union was trying to, the MEAA here in Australia was trying to influence that decision to include lots of bits and pieces specific to the arts industry so that we weren't through the cracks. But obviously that didn't happen. They rushed through this $130 billion thing to get to as many people as possible, as quickly as possible. But now the union's talking to the government about an industry-specific solution, so something tailored for the arts, because there is... already the arts industry was struggling and relies on some government funding and support. But it won't be there at all if we don't support it now.
I did bring up your name to Grant Thompson.
Did he slap you down and go, that guy?
He's like, who the is that?
What did he say?
No. He totally remembers you because you guys apparently did something recently, like last year or something, whatever. Which I think
we worked together on something. Yeah.
Yeah. So I said, because somehow Jess brought up your name because we were talking about something, and then that reminded me.
I knew you wouldn't. Thanks, Jess. Thank you, Jess, for remembering me.
No, and then I remembered to say
truth
it, and
comes
I said
out.
it. Yeah. I shouldn't have said that. No, and so I brought him up and I said, yeah, and Grant's like, oh yeah, Max, yeah. He does a podcast, and then I'm like, yep, I'm the co-star of that one.
I'm the other guy.
I'm
the dude.
Yeah, I'm the other guy.
Sam.
And he's like, oh, are
I'm
you?
that
and
Sam.
it's really cool. Yeah, exactly. And so that was cool. And he said you're a cool dude. So yeah.
Well,
and then I told him that you're tutoring or mentoring another dude for the same audition we're doing. And I'm like,
and you know what? It was the same. It was the same.
Yeah.
But I mean,
and we have to beat him.
Look,
that's what I said. And we have to smash them.
Because that's what it's all about. Coming first. The inner sales guy in me, the corporate dude, is like,
you know
what the
I don't even care if I don't get the role. It's about beating you. That one.
That's brilliant. What a team. We stick together, not. No, I actually, look, it went quite well. I mean, at the end of the day, I was really just facilitating. I'm like, here's the tripod, here's the kit with the camera, here's the light, you know.
Have you done it? Have you done the...
we did it on Thursday. And
how was it?
Good, yeah. I mean, I was just saying, I sort of facilitated it all tech-wise, and then we tested his phone to record it, and it recorded everything fine, used the directional mic, the lighting, blah, blah. Help me arrange things. I mean, really, he's just... Pardon?
Was it at iSpry or...
No, their office is closed at the moment. They're working from home. No, at my place. So...
very nice. So I've been replaced.
So... Well, like I said, I was just facilitating it, like the tech setup, and then he basically has everything prepared. I'm like, do you want to do just a quick read through? We did 1 or 2 read throughs, and then really I'm just the reader. I'm just the other dude, which is how it should be. And away he went. I said something like,
you just want to make sure that you're not better.
This monotone voice in the background.
Yeah. Goodness.
And I just, make sure that he was happy with it before he left, and he seemed all right. It was good.
Very cool.
So it went well.
He seemed all right.
my charitable moment. I can be a nice guy every now and then, not just an asshole.
Yeah. Well, it
happens.
I haven't actually filmed it with Grant. We did a couple read-throughs. We went through it. We threw around some ideas, and we'll film it probably this coming week.
So have you watched Tiger King?
No, but it's been everywhere on my socials.
Oh, everyone's talking about it because
I know,
it's really this...
It's on one of that top Australia list and Netflix to viewers and whatnot.
Yeah, it's globally, it's such a success for Netflix. So really it's... So really it's an insight into the lives of several absurd characters who... in their own way, are trying to, inverted commas, rehabilitate tigers, yet also make a lot of money out of them, and combat or compete with each other in the process. And wicked and wild characters, like there doesn't seem to be any sort of winners out of it, although one of them is in jail. Spoiler. But it's a really interesting...
Is it fictional?
Train wreck in slow motion, so to speak. And like every episode, it's like you're left hanging and you just can't wait to binge the next...
Is it? It's fictional, right? Or...
No, it's true. It might look like a mockumentary because they're so absurd, but it really is. It's real.
It's a documentary. Oh, okay, very cool.
And I think it's edited. Like some people are saying, it's not about rehabilitating tigers at all, and that's so wrong, and they're just leveraging it for. I'm like, well, it's not a National Geographic special on tigers. It's about these characters who happen to have these interests that coincide. That make them all the more crazy. So because it's so successful, right, what they did, they being Netflix, is get the production company to scrape together another episode. What they call an after show. So I'm thinking it's got the same production value as the full miniseries, the documentary. And it's going to be sort of insightful and follow up and that sort of stuff. So what happened was this after show was hosted by Joel McHale, and I tuned into a Netflix live Instagram chat with him and someone from Netflix. And what happened was they basically contacted him on a Thursday and said, "Hey, I want you to host this after show, and we want it done by Friday." How am I going to do this? It's pandemic. I will send everyone iPhones. So what they did was they sent everyone being each of the characters in the production, except Carol Baskin. She doesn't want to be a part of it. And if you watch, you'll understand why. But anyway, so basically they end up with they filmed it on an iPad. They phoned each other so they could understand each other and record sound through the iPad, while each of them had a 4K camera set up so that he could do a one-on-one interview with each of them, and then they stitched together the one-on-one interviews to make this after show special. I mean, so look, I just think it devalued the whole process. Really, it really looks like what it was, a last-minute ditch to capitalize on the Netflix #1 documentary and throw something together to get some more eyeballs on it. It really didn't add any sort of value to it, I don't think.
Oh, no,
that's just my perception. It wasn't quite, and you've got some real issues that underline these characters, which makes it even more resounding in your mind when you think of major things like someone's husband disappeared. A tiger bit off someone's leg, or bit into their arm that had to be amputated. This guy has been accused of shooting tigers to make space for new tigers because the money's in photos with Cubs. Another one's it's like they aren't light, but there they were in this sort of comical kind of a late show type vibe. You know, a one-liner to sort of introduce them and really softball questions. It's like, I don't know that you can really make light of it to that extent. Like, there's some pretty hardcore issues that are raised in this documentary. I don't know if an after show kind of interview sort of deal is no. So I don't know. I didn't really find it I didn't actually get through it all. But
that's fair enough.
For someone who loved Tiger King, but anyway.
Well, I watched Animal Kingdom, the Aussie movie. Finally.
Oh, how good is that?
Yeah. So you've seen it.
Oh, absolutely. Jackie Weaver, Ben Mendelsohn, fantastic. Joel Edgerton, fantastic. Lots of great Australian characters.
I love how the TV show has really taken ideas from the film and like branched out the characters even more. But I really love how the basis for all the characters in the TV show really did come from the film.
Yeah,
and you can see that, and it's just like Joel Edgerton is so good that he developed that character within 30 minutes or something, because that's all he had really. And he developed that character personally. Like, obviously, the whole cast were amazing. I actually think I prefer Ellen Barkin's version of Smurf from Jackie Weaver's, but also it's not fair to compare them, I guess, because you've got Ellen Barkin, who has a whole series to develop her character.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you then look at Joel Edgerton, who I think developed his character and showed that he was the leader, showed that he was in charge in such subtle ways and in shorter amount of time than everyone in the film.
Do you know who was nominated for an Academy Award out of that production?
Who?
Jackie Weaver. I mean, she's such a lovely person.
She was very good.
And she was this hard, rough, dictator style, if you could say the word mother. There's nothing.
She was good, but she didn't have much screen time until the end, did she?
Well, it earned her a nomination for an Academy Award, which
amazing,
which propelled her career in Hollywood. She got another one for Silver Linings Playbook as well, which was great. But that really, she's in LA now, based in LA and popping up all over the place. And I think the last one was Palms, actually. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So, but that for me, that was amazing what she did with that character, because it's such an important character to be the one who sort of drives that family unit, and so influential. I mean, it was a great movie. I could easily watch it again, actually. I might put it on my little pandemic list.
It was actually very good. I think it was the acting was amazing, and Ben Mendelsohn's acting, no movement in his face, yet you thought he was going to kill someone every scene.
It's intense. And again, that helped him. The success internationally of that movie helped him move forward in Hollywood as well. I know I just finished watching the series The Outsider. I think it's based on Stephen King, with him in the starring role. Fantastic. So lots of great Australian actors in that. It was well worth watching. It just goes to show the power that movie had, that the screenplay had. Like that they had so many great characters.
It was so good
that you can develop into a series that can run for a series.
it was such a good idea to turn it, like, you can see how that could have become a series, like starting and just branching it out and, you know, making it a whole longer story. It's just so cool.
I had a bit of a disaster last week.
Oh, yes, of course.
Remember how I was invited to do a Storyville live to read to the children live on Facebook?
Mm-hmm.
Look, it was all going well. Like, I had everything organised. About 45 minutes before, I was finalising my little tech bits, making sure the phone was right, and I'd signed into their account okay, and I did everything perfect. Then I realised that the picture hadn't flipped. So everything's backwards. And you can only flip it when you're using an iPhone. If you're on an Android, you can't flip the picture on Facebook Live.
Oh no.
I've gone, oh God, what am I going to do? And I thought I could try using the camera on the computer. So I quickly logged in on my desktop, and the camera was horrible. It's like a 2 megapixel piece of poo. So I'm like trying to, all the words are blurry no matter where I held the book, and I'm like, oh God. Now it's only 20 minutes to go, and I'm like panicking.
No. Yeah.
And then I've logged in again on the phone, and I hooked it up and tried to work out where I was standing, like put a mark on the floor so I knew when I was in frame, which is tough when you're doing it on your own. And phone isn't flipped. It was recording from the original camera, not the selfie camera. So you can't see yourself, right? Because and I'm running now trying to work it out. It's now 5 minutes past and I'm running late and I'm panicking. So I'm trying to log back in and it wouldn't let me log back in. I'm like, you're joking. After all this, I can't log in. Anyway, quick distress phone call to whoever's organising it. Like, don't panic. It's okay. This is a soft launch. It's not official yet. We're winding out the bugs. Don't panic. I'm like, because oh my God, the children. And so she's like, just calm down.
The children.
30, because I want to get everything right. And she's like, just how about you start at 4:30 instead of 4? And that's fine if you can't, as long as you're happy you've got it. So anyway, what ended up happening was I pressed record, and then there's the first 5 awkward seconds, or maybe 10, of me sort of standing there looking at the camera going, oh my God, is it working? I don't even know if it's working. Maybe I didn't press it. And then I've looked again. Oh no, I'm live. Oh, great. So then I've started. So rather than starting nice and smooth, as a storyteller should, it was a bit of awkward me. It got to the point where I actually, over the weekend, I was thinking about it. Like, that's how, and it was like a 10-minute storybook read. So I've, this morning, I downloaded it using some software and I edited it so that the first 10 awkward seconds were removed. And I could then upload it and send it to them going, look, if this is what you want to send to the publisher to see if we can get the grant, then maybe, or replace the original post with this, go for it. I'm like, I couldn't relax until I'd given it to them, 100%. Oh, it was, some stress was happening. You'd think reading to children would be a bit simpler, right? Corona
not in a
world
time
and
of crisis.
Oh my God. It all came down to the phone not flipping in Facebook Live.
Oh, no.
Bugger. What's this week look like for you?
Practicing more of this audition, and hopefully, if we can, go see Grant on Friday and shoot it and stuff.
I'm a big fan. I'm a big fan of having sitting with it and having someone poke it a bit, and then sitting with it again before you go.
Well, we were talking about it, and it's like this is where ideas flow, is in rehearsals. Like you can do only so much at home. And then you do rehearsal with someone and you bounce ideas back and forth. And I'm that type of person that's like, oh, damn, I didn't come up with that idea myself. Or it's like, is that okay? Is that And he's like, look, you're the actor. Yeah, that's what the director's job is, to give you some ideas and you execute it,
that's right.
Don't worry about it. That's all good.
Wherever the inspiration comes from, how big or small, just keep going with it.
Yeah, and you've given me heaps of ideas and that's where I'm getting it from. And, that's okay. And I know it's a team process. I just get like that, but it's really good to hear that, obviously if you leave, he used an example.
It's okay, Sam, that's normal. Don't panic.
If you leave actors to, actors need direction.
I know. You spend so much time with the character, you start to freak out sometimes.
You leave them to their own devices, you end up like Max, but that's like...
Well said.
But, so that was, I don't know, that was good. But there's a competition, actor competition, win $500, get to talk with Kirsty McGregor, or she gets to see her work. you get to talk, to, I think, to an agent or whatever. Yeah, and Grant wants both Jess and I to do that, and we've been practicing this script, and we've memorized it, and he said to us, he's like, what I want you to do is randomly at home, Sam, you've got the first line, randomly at home, I want you to start with that line, and Jess, you have to keep going. You then do the script. Randomly at home, you know, like you eating something, like eating breakfast, start it. You know, just like do it. And feel how natural it is. And he's like, you guys have the advantage of, you know, actually being in a relationship. And this script is a relationship script, like a couple script.
Perfect.
We've had some cool ideas. So hopefully we'll film that next week as well and enter it in to the competition. I woke up the other morning, still like half asleep, turned around and just said my first line of, what do you want to do about the couch?
Still thinking about work.
Yeah, and it was so natural. It was so natural. That's really good.
Well, I saw a post from Kirsty McGregor on social media showing a media, I think it was a magazine article about her stint on Neighbours as an actor. And there was, like, she was 13, you know, and it was about her her character's new relationship with Toby, or the character's name's Toby. You know, it's a magazine goss. I commented like, oh my God, I actually remember those episodes. I remember as a little teenage boy watching those particular episodes. Like, I remember the character and those characters. I'm like, yeah.
Are you older than her?
A while ago. I don't know. I mean, she was there. I could have been probably like 14, 15. I don't remember.
I
don't remember exactly when. I just remember those characters on Neighbours. Like, I think when I started to sort of go, what is this thing that everyone talks about? Kylie Minogue and Jason Donovan were still on.
Yeah.
And then they got married and disappeared or something. And then that's when I sort of started to get into the whole after school soapies.
Oh, yeah.
Soap operas for kids. But, and I think I liked Home and Away more. I don't know why. I'm a Melbourne boy. You'd think I'd like Ramsay Street being filmed in Victoria in Melbourne. But maybe it's the beach. Just love the beach.
Yeah.
Well, I have to, until I'm on Neighbours anyway, because I was on Home and Away as the marvellous character that was police officer number 2 or whatever, with my amazing line of all clear. Did you get that? Did you feel that? Did you feel the energy from that?
I felt the intensity.
Cop energy, does it every day. He's just like, yeah, all clear.
I watched your interrogation short film.
What did you think?
It was good.
I'm glad you said that, because otherwise I'd have to edit that out. But
I liked your acting.
Good. And I had to become right-handed in that because I just got hit by the car like just before the production. When we were in rehearsal, I had to do the blocking with my right hand. Anyway, I think I'm entitled to whinge about that because it hurt like hell.
Yeah. Well, you can tell you're a voice artist with that beginning bit where you got your voiceover.
Oh, yeah. We went and recorded
really cool.
We did ADR after on that, and we recorded a few different versions. But look, we shot that in one day. I mean, we did the benefits of doing a rehearsal. We had 2 days to shoot, but we did a rehearsal, and we all sort of turned up having done all our homework. So it sort of helped us ease into the rehearsal, taking some risks, working out blocking, that sort of stuff. So by the time we were there to film, it was it just worked seamlessly. It was perfect. It was one of those productions where everything sort of came together. Everyone had a job to do.
Did you like do you like how it turned out?
I do. I thought it was great. I saw a rough cut before the soundtrack, before color grading, and I'm like, oh, that's awesome. Can I share it? He's like, no, it hasn't finished. It isn't finished yet. Calm down. Not finished yet. And when I saw the color grading and then there's the soundtrack to it, like just to build that intensity, it was just brilliant. I was really happy with it. They were kind enough to let me share it. I did ask them over the weekend if I could put it up on my YouTube as well, and they were kind enough to let me do that.
Nice. So it's not going to festivals?
No, they've entered it in festivals, although some of the festivals are going ahead thanks to pandemic. Others have just moved online completely, which is great. They've accommodated it that way. I haven't put it into my show reel yet because there's so much of Max in a tie shouting, whether I'm angry businessman or angry crazy guy, or I don't need angry detective. So
do the moments where you're really quiet and just kind of staring at in the beginning.
Intense stare.
Yeah, because that's not angry, but it's obviously you in a shirt, but it looks good. Max. It's not as in angry. Yeah.
Well, I should get the taking soon, which is complete opposite, something new, me being crazy, wrapped in a blanket, hearing voices. So I think when that drops, I'll incorporate that and the interrogation. Cool. Maybe replace some other angry shouty Max in my show reel. You've been listening to Max.
And Sam, sorry, go again.
Well, how much dead air do you want? You really want me to work really fucking hard on the editing, don't you?
No.
Jesus Christ.
Action.
All right, one more time. Here we go. You've been... No. I'm Max.
Okay. I'm Sam.
You've been listening to Two Unemployed Actors. Don't forget to like and subscribe. We'll be back next week. Bye.
Two unemployed actors.
Oh, good. Jess is walking out of the room. Oh.
Something I said?
Is it something you said? Yeah.
So
no, I think she's blowing her nose.
I had a bit... Oh, just to go out of the house for that, doesn't it? I think I... Corona. I had...
Oh, she's... Oh, wait, hold on.
Oh, just trying to upstage Sam. Jesus. Give him a moment in the limelight, for God's sake. He gets 30 minutes a week. Come on. It's hard enough making him sound good in the edit.